Welcome back to another episode of the Medium Cool Show. Today, we delve into the mountainous high plains of Idaho and Montana.
Today we're going to be talking about Thunderbolt and Lightfoot, directed by Michael Cimino from 1994 or 1974?
Yeah, we're talking about Thunderbolt and Lightfoot from 1974, baby. Written and directed in his directorial debut feature, the legend Michael Cimino. And if you don't know that name, then you'll definitely know about him if you've seen The Deer Hunter.
Or Heaven's Gate debacle.
But if you've seen The Deer Hunter, a fucking amazing movie, this is his directorial debut feature, and it was not a fucking disappointment.
No, probably one of the best debut features I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So good. Oh
yeah, it was a surprise.
And this stars Clint Eastwood and a very young Jeff Bridges. Their performance is so good. Their chemistry is so good together.
Yeah.
You know?
This was such a surprise, banger. This is like a forgotten classic.
Yeah.
Of the 1970s new Hollywood films. It's crazy. I've probably heard of the movie. I've probably heard it before the movie, but it's just gone out of my mind. I think they might have talked about it in Easy Riders, Raging Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
They had to mention it at least once in that.
Yeah.
Because they talk about Michael Cimino a lot. But when we were looking through movies to watch, and then we saw that, and
Mm-hmm.
I read I saw it was Clint Eastwood, Jeff Bridges, and Michael Cimino, 1974.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I have to watch this.
Yeah.
You know, I had to watch it, and we watched it, and it was just such a pleasant surprise because
Mm-hmm.
no one talks about this movie. I feel like
No.
none of my friends know about it. It's such a
No.
yeah. Even though it was a relatively good hit. Box office hit for the time. It made 25 mil and cost probably only a few mil, 5 mil or something like that.
Yeah, it was pretty low budget. Originally, Clint Eastwood wanted to direct this film.
Yeah.
But then after, I think Michael Cimino did some rewrites for a movie that Clint Eastwood was on.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, okay, I'll let you direct this. I'll be in this project with you. Yeah, it was really, really fucking good, dude.
Yeah.
Blew me away, the cinematography, and I can definitely see how if you don't know Michael Cimino, he did have a very short burst in the 70s as a director.
As a lot of directors in that era.
Yeah, a lot.
Most of the new Hollywood directors,
Mm-hmm.
they all just had bursts and stuff.
Yeah, but you know of Francis Ford Coppola, Friedkin, Michael Cimino. He burned really bright really quickly. But his talent, cannot be understated.
Mm-hmm.
He is a phenomenal director and a bit of a perfectionist. Apparently, that's kind of what, led to his downfall. But The Deer Hunter is, a phenomenal film. Maybe one of the best Vietnam films ever.
Oh, man, it's so good, dude.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And then this movie is, oh my God. Just, this is the perfect, hangout, not high stakes criminal movie.
But also it is high stakes though, because it is a heist film. It is a genre film that's elevated.
Mm-hmm.
There is stakes to it. They're literally being chased by a guy who wants to kill Clint Eastwood the whole movie.
They are being chased by the guy that wants to kill Clint Eastwood the whole movie. But once that guy catches up to him,
yeah,
it's they team up. There are stakes to it, and it is kind of a very moving film, and kind of sad in a way. Especially near the end.
Definitely a new Hollywood ending, kind of nihilistic, bittersweet but kind of sad ending.
Yeah.
Where it's we start with a character and then we end with a character.
Mm-hmm.
And for this movie though, I came in because I came for Clint Eastwood.
You came for him?
And I came for Clint Eastwood and I stayed for Jeff Bridges, bro.
Dude, yeah.
Jeff Bridges, this is his best, dude. What other movie...
The Big Lebowski, maybe. That's the only one I can think of, dude.
Yeah, Big Lebowski and this are the best Jeff Bridges movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You know? And this is up there for Clint Eastwood as well, dude. This is a top 5 Clint Eastwood movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's up there with Dirty Harry and shit.
Yeah.
You know?
And Jeff Bridges really blows you away. It's just right off the bat where he's just kind of this funny, I call him an idiot savant throughout the film, you know? He doesn't really take anything too seriously. Kind of lives as a drifter in society, but he's
also
really,
kind of a criminal too.
Yeah, he's a criminal, a thief, but he's really upbeat and really fucking loves the friendship that he forms with Clint Eastwood's character, you know?
And he's a more of a newer, like rookie criminal, and he runs into the vet criminal, which is Clint Eastwood. They cross paths and become friends, and then they decide that they want to rob this bank thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they end up collaborating with the guys who are originally chasing Clint Eastwood and trying to kill him
Mm-hmm.
to rob this bank. And that's like the plot. But then it's just like it's like you come in thinking it's a genre picture because you're like, oh, Clint Eastwood, Jeff Bridges. But then it's like it's really about spending time with these like
Yeah.
kooky characters. I mean, Clint Eastwood is just like being kind of like a 45-year-old Clint Eastwood,
Yeah.
like chilled out. He's like, oh no, like I'm done with that life. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
he's just like so good at knowing about like heists and shit, and
Yeah.
like breaks it all down like really well, and just like cool Clint Eastwood. And you have like Jeff Bridges who steals a car in the beginning and then almost fucking runs over Clint Eastwood, and then
Yeah.
he jumps on like such a sick scene. And
Yeah.
all the debauchery that goes on
Mm-hmm.
when they like have to hitchhike and shit, and they
Yeah.
get picked up by the Idaho tweaker guy with the bunnies in his car.
Yeah, what the fuck? That
Yeah.
scene was like, we were talking about that scene. That scene's like so amazing, but that would never be made today. Because some executive would look at that scene, read it on the script, and be like, why the fuck do we have this?
Yeah,
We'll
we're
cut
not gonna
this.
spend. Yeah, they're gonna like tighten up the script and cut it out and be like, this is like we're not gonna spend money on this or like spend time on this. But this is like new Hollywood is when capitalism meets artistic freedom.
Uh-huh.
The directors and writers could like make what they wanted, and like they were just like, sure, like do what you want, like do the United Artists under the MGM umbrella,
Mhm.
right? They were like, oh yeah, sure, like well you just do what you want, and then they fucking made these amazing movies,
Yeah.
and the endings were not happy.
No, they
You
were,
know?
very nihilistic, like
Yeah.
very melancholic endings.
Yeah.
But they fucking hit so hard, dude.
Mm-hmm.
This is the last movie that Clint Eastwood did with United Artists.
Hmm.
Even after like his success with like spaghetti westerns, he was really like felt kind of fucked over by this movie, and he kind of felt
Because of the advertising.
because of the advertising, yeah. And he also kind of felt outshined by Jeff Bridges in this film.
Yeah, I mean he like Jeff Bridges has the performance of the film, whereas like Clint Eastwood is just being cool,
Mm-hmm.
which
What-
I like that, but
Yeah. It's interesting because
the
like
brand of Clint Eastwood is in this kind of artsy heist film.
yeah, it's interesting because like Clint Eastwood's kind of like, except for like maybe Dirty Harry, he's kind of like the same in a lot of his movies. Like kind of has like the squint, and he's
Mhm.
like this cool guy, but that works when his villain's the one that's like the theatrical one.
Yeah.
But then when it's like the other hero is the theatrical one, like I can see how he feels outshined by
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
But both of them together is what makes this film. For me.
Dude, it's so fucking dope.
It's like just the cinematography of the Idaho landscape, the patience this film has
Yeah.
is like mastercraft.
Yeah, it defies expectations on every level. And this is like honestly like a 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10 picture for me
Mm-hmm.
personally. And it's just
Yeah.
it's a great film. And it's fun to watch, and it's just like very artistic and really well done and defies expectations. What can I say? Like subversion on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
For like such an intimate small road kind of movie,
Mhm. Like I don't know what else to say about it other than like I don't want to say too much because I really want you guys to see this movie, like if you haven't already. And it's easy to find on Tubi, free streaming platform. And yeah, like give Michael Cimino a try because
Yeah.
I think he has a lot to offer in like the few films he's made.
Do you want to mention the Heaven's Gate thing though?
The Heaven's Gate thing. So Heaven's Gate came out in 1980,
Yeah.
I think, and it's notorious for being one of the most expensive films and one of the films to end the new Hollywood era, which is essentially what Felix was talking about, where all of these artists were given complete freedom by these studios to make like very artistic films and in their own vision as directors. And Heaven's Gate was kind of where, you have Michael Cimino and he's this rising like star and you don't think like he can do any wrong because he came out with this Thunderbolt Lightfoot, he came out with Deer Hunter, and Deer Hunter like won so many Oscars. They give him too much power in Heaven's Gate and he kind of ends up with this like 3.5 hour long mess of a movie. I haven't seen it yet, but that's how people perceive it, as like a mess of a movie that didn't make back its money, that put United Artists under, and basically like gave the studios back control on like who they give their projects to.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it became studio controlled after that because it made like $3 million and it cost like $45 million
Yeah.
to make Heaven's Gate. But it is on Criterion. I do want to watch it. I heard it actually is pretty good.
Yeah, I want to watch it too. Like,
Yeah.
you know, after seeing this movie, like, I'm not saying there can't be a Michael Cimino downfall, but I am saying, like, there's got to be something to appreciate in it, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, it's probably really cool.
Yeah.
Like, really well done. Like, sets and everything that they put into it, all the detail of it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. Check it out, baby.